So what was your first something other than a theater review where you're like, okay, I'm a journalist now and I'm investigating and I'm asking questions and I'm piecing puzzles together and maybe I'll write a book one day. Like, where did you take that from theater reviews and into, hey, this is serious now and this is going to be my profession?
Well, I mean, I guess as soon as I started doing news, I thought like this is where it's at. Like, when everyone's running away, you're running towards it, and
Yeah.
it's you're interviewing people who've just been through stuff, and it's the first draft of history and all that. And so one of the first things was an IRA bomb actually in very close to the office in Docklands in London. And I was in the office, and it's this. I think we were on the 14th floor or something, and yeah, so it's actually the bomb that book opens with. So there's kind of a symmetry or something going on there, and just this almighty bang, and it shook, and people dived under the under the desks and stuff, and I just was amongst a whole bunch of us. The elevators were out, so we ran down the stairs, however many floors it was, and sort of ran over there, and there's crunching glass and ambulances and people being evacuated, and but I was also it was great. I was thinking this is it.
In the
Yeah,
action.
exactly.
And did you know what it was right away back then? Did your mind go right to, I mean, back like today, if that happened, your mind would probably go a different place than it went back then.
I think, I forget the exact sequence, but I think the IRA declared an end to the ceasefire like in an hour or so before. And it was still, so it's being reported, but it was it felt like it was unconfirmed. But from memory, we knew it was the IRA. I mean, they were the only people, letting off big bombs in central London at that time.
Yeah, no kidding. And did you grow up with kind of that specter? Because over here, as a kid in the '80s, growing up, you're reading about it here and there, magazine article here or there, a Time magazine, a Newsweek, that sort of a thing, a mention in a thriller, that sort of a thing. So, did you grow up under the specter, a looming specter of the Troubles, or was it something that was constantly on your mind growing up during that time frame in the mid '70s to mid '80s type time frame, or what was that like, and how much understanding did you have of what was actually going on in Ireland?
Well, it was a kind of a drip, drip, drip in the background. It wasn't looming. It may have been if maybe I'd been in London, which was the principal sort of economic target. I mean, I was living in Manchester, and that didn't seem to be a target. Although in '96 it was, and in fact they blew up Manchester, and that was a bomb that originated in South Armagh, just like the Docklands bomb did. But so it was sort of something that's always in the background. A couple of soldiers killed here. I mean, I vividly remember when I was 13, and again I cover it in Bandit Country. There was Mountbatten, the Queen's cousin, Lord Mountbatten, sort of Viceroy of India, this kind of hallowed figure, and he was assassinated, blown up in County Sligo in Ireland. So August 79, and the same day, 18 soldiers were killed, mostly from the parachute regiment. And I vividly remember my father coming upstairs and going, "Bastards." And it was one of the first times I heard him swear like that. And so, it was very much there. They blew soldiers up in pubs. And there was, terrorist attacks on the continent. So I think a couple of tourists were killed at one point. A baby was shot. They were trying to kill, British military, in Germany. So it was always there. Also, I'm Catholic by birth, and I was going to like a Catholic school in Manchester, and there was lots of kids from Irish families there. So, I guess it was maybe talked about a little bit more than your sort of average place. So, I was always aware of it.
Was it polarizing to communities back then in the UK, like in London, Manchester
Not really.
area down south?
No. I mean, the IRA was kind of beyond the pale, I think, in England, and so many civilians were killed. I mean, certainly would have been some sympathy for a united Ireland, but actually, I think in England mostly, that was just overshadowed by the campaign.